How are you doing, my friends? This is Anthony from StatBoost with another StatBoost Unscripted video. Today, I want to talk about something that I've been thinking about for a while, and that's indie games and why they matter. So basically, if you don't know what an indie game is, it's basically a game that's usually about $20 or under most of the time. Little cheaper, but that's not to be interpreted as a bad thing. Basically, that means maybe they didn't have enough funding for a certain team of renderers or whatever. I don't know. I'm not a game developer, but you just less manpower basically. But these games are really important to the industry for a couple of reasons. One, they're fun. That's the main reason why you get any video game. They're cheap, and really what it means to developers. Now, basically, what I'm saying is, AAA games are great. But they don't need as much help from us as indie developers do. For instance, your big AAA games are going to be, usually $60 games like Legend of Zelda, Final Fantasy, Assassin's Creed, Halo, Destiny, Far Cry, Uncharted, list goes on and on. Now, obviously, those companies, they still value our business as consumers because, we're making, the economy grow and everything and making them money, and they're using their money to bring back to us in the form of entertainment that we like. But, okay, so think about it this way. Let's take, I'm just going to pick a random game, Skyrim, right? Super cool game, obviously. Costs about $60. Now, say you get an indie game that's $20. So literally, if Skyrim sells one copy, they literally sold to 3 times the amount of people as someone who has a game for $20. So basically, it does. That literally translates to, it means more to them, that more people would pick their game to try it out. And being like the way I like to see it is, me and Eric, we used to play in a band, and indie games I feel are very similar to being in a band. Basically, for instance, what I'm saying is, think of some big artist you really like. I'm gonna throw some out there. Taylor Swift. She's someone people really like. Kendrick Lamar, Day to Remember, Linkin Park, rest in peace Chester, Metallica, Foo Fighters, whoever it is that you're into, no matter what the genre or whatever, they all started off just as nobody. They were just some kid somewhere with a dream that they really wanted to do things, and they made all the right moves, got lucky, blah blah blah, whatever you want to say, to get to the point where they are. Now, how that relates to me is, I remember, we go on tour, we'd be in a van, we wouldn't have a lot of money, we'd be hungry, probably smell bad, all this stuff. So every time somebody bought our CD for, I think we sold it for $10, it really meant a lot, because that didn't just mean, they're into the music. It's you have literally fed me for the day. You have given something to me, so let me perform this show to give something to you back, and you're really grateful for things like that. And that's the same way these companies feel. Whoever indie developer you want to name, when they see someone buys their game, that means a lot to them. And I'm again not saying that huge companies like Sony, Microsoft, or whoever or Nintendo, that they don't appreciate that, because they still do, obviously, but they don't need as much help as the indie guys. For instance, if you see a band play and you buy their CD and it's just some local crappy dive bar or whatever, with 4 people in there, it means a lot to them, more so than if who's someone I named, Kendrick Lamar, right? Super awesome rapper. Of course, he's gonna appreciate it too, but he has thousands of other people, so it's it's not oh, boo-hoo, but it's it's not gonna affect him in the same way to get $10. Bill Gates. Bill Gates has billions of dollars. Doesn't need any money from any of us, so, if I give him $10, it's not going to mean anything, but, me as somebody who's paying bills and stuff, every dollar counts, so, $10 would be great, right? I'm pretty sure all you guys listen be man, it'd be really cool if someone just gave me $10, that'd be dope, $50, whatever, especially, too, something I've thought about since me and Eric have started this YouTube channel is, basically how I feel with indie games and why they matter. It's subscribers, how much it means to us at StatBoost. Even right now, at the time of this recording, we have 33 subscribers. That's not a lot, I know that, whatever, but I don't care. This is something that I like to do, and I want to make it better and, just make content for you guys, because that's what I like to do. It's fun, and I can do it. It's a lot easier than being in a band, even though I'm still in a band and it's fun, but, But the subscribers thing means a lot to us in the same way. Like, for instance, like, literally, again, like, from the time of this recording, 33 subscribers. When I started at the channel, there was, I think, 14 subscribers, and literally every time the subscriber count went up by 1, I would be texting Eric, oh my god, we got a new subscriber, that's awesome, you know, and it's really exciting. But, you know, take, for instance, any other channel you have. They got 20 million subscribers, 8 million, even, like, 500,000, you know? It's like, obviously, again, those people definitely value your subscription as well, but, you know, it's not going to mean as much because they're already at this point, and that's in no way, I hope you guys don't think that I'm thinking, like, you know, there's some kind of arrogance if you get, like, really high up or whatever, because that's definitely not the case. But, you know, it means more to, like, the little guy who's up and coming. And indie games, too, seriously, they're just, you know, I'm getting a little off topic here. It's supposed to be about indie games, but indie games really matter basically for all those reasons, you know, because of all the stuff that, like, these people go through, you know, just to give us games. And, you know, if you get their game, you know, they'll have more money for their next project to give you another game that's, like, twice as good, and then another game 3 times as good, 4 times, until, you know. And then especially, too, because, you know, say you're with, like, for instance, like, Shovel Knight is the first game that comes to mind in recent years of indie games. And if you've never played it, I recommend it. It's super fun. It's basically like a 2D platformer, and you're like a knight, and you, like, hold the shovel, and you, like, attack people with the shovel. It's actually pretty sweet. I played it with my girlfriend. We beat it, like, 4 times. It was awesome. But, so that's the game that comes to mind with me, with, like, an indie game, like, right away. So what I'm thinking about is, like, you know, I buy their game. I'm like, oh, this is a cool little game. You know, maybe in a year from now, who knows? Maybe 5 years, 6 years. You know, I'm pretty sure it's Yacht Club Games. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's them. But they make it, you know. But who knows? Maybe in a couple of years they're going to come out with some huge AAA title, and all your friends and whoever, the internet's going to be like, oh man, look at this cool game. Be like, yeah, dude, I already knew about that because I was into that company. It's like that I was there since the beginning, you know. So it kind of gives you a sense of ownership, but not ownership, but, like, you know, because you definitely don't own that company, but, like, it gives you this sense of, like, a connection. You're like, oh, I've known what's happening with you guys since the beginning, so of course I'm going to keep supporting you, because I remember buying Shovel Knight for $20, and I told, like, 5 of my friends about it, and, like, one of them actually got it, and all that money that basically got channeled to you guys got to this point. And, you know, are they working on a AAA game? I hope so. You know, that'd be cool, but I don't know. But that's a possibility for anybody, you know, so, you know, playing indie games is really important, you guys, because of all that stuff, because of everything that, like, to keep the economy going, to keep gaming, to keep innovating, to keep doing new things, we need newcomers, and we still need the big guys, because don't get me wrong, I'm going to have a heart attack if they tell me there's no more Legend of Zeldas coming out. I'm going to freak out. But they're not going to do that. It's too awesome, you know? But, you know, so basically what I'm saying is, the next time you want to buy a game, you know, and you see, like, a AAA game, and it's, you know, $60, and you're like, oh, that's cool, you know, and you budget your money to make sure you can get it, this and that, but maybe next time, think to yourself, oh, well, maybe I can just, like, download a game digitally on whatever my console or PC is, and, you know, I'll just spend $20 instead of $60, so I'm going to save myself $40, you know, that'll get me some food or whatever you want to spend your money on, and, you know, you can still play that other game later because you already got $40 to save up another $20 and get it later. But the fact that you get these games, these newer indie games that are cheaper, you know, it helps everybody, you know. Now, you know, keep in mind, you know, there's probably going to be a lot of real shitty indie games out there. You know, I'm not going to deny that. But, you know, thank God for the internet, reviews, whatever, you know. You know, a lot of stuff can help you make your decision. And even if you buy a game that you thought was cool and you didn't like it, you know, whatever, it's $15-20, and, you know, that sucks, but, you know, but at least you've tried it, you know. So before I end this video, I want to talk about some recommendations for indie games for you guys to try in case you're not really into indie games, or you've heard of them but you're like, I just don't feel like it. Now, most of these games I played on the Wii U, but I'm pretty sure, like, these games are everywhere else, because if they're going to put it on Wii U, it's more than likely on at least 2 or 3 different things. But short little list here for you guys. Swords and Soldiers is a pretty cool game. It's basically like a real-time strategy game where it's like a 2-dimension, like, your army basically goes against the other army, and you have to, like, time your troops right and stuff. Very, like, strategical, pretty fun. Another game I really like is Castle Storm. You never heard of this? It's basically Swords and Soldiers, like I just mentioned, and it meets Angry Birds, which is kind of cool because you have, like, these 2 towers, and, like, you launch rockets at them and stuff. It's pretty neat. Human Resource Machine is also a game that I actually got on the Switch for the first time. I think it was on a few other platforms before that. It was only $10, but it is super hard. Like, if you're really into like brain teasers and puzzles and stuff, get this, because literally it get like the levels are like year 1, 2, 3, and I think it goes up to like 50, and I think I'm on 9, and it's ridiculous. It's really hard, and like, you know, I like to think that I'm not dumb, but like, you know, it's super hard, but you should really try it. Also, another game I really like is Child of Light. Super awesome game. Been on like a couple different platforms. You know, it's kind of like if you're like into RPGs and stuff, it's definitely, you know, your speed. The girl like flies, kind of, sort of. It's pretty sweet. Definitely try that too. So one more time, you guys, thank you again for everything, for listening, for listening all the way to the end, which is also really nice. Thank you to our subscribers out there. If you're thinking about subscribing, it would really mean a lot to us if you did. If you listened this far, I know you heard my whole spiel about being in the band and how much it meant. So, you know, just think about that. You know, subscribing helps us a lot and lets us know you guys care about us as much as we care about you. Like, comment, share, you know, all that stuff that they, like, you know, all these other channels are saying. But, you know, if you guys really want to do that, I feel like I don't have to tell you. You'll just do it, which I really hope you do, because, you know, that, again, that make us feel so good. Thank you guys again. This is Anthony from StatBoost, and we'll see you next time.